Good morning. So it's another lovely day here in Austria. You may remember yesterday my original plan had been to try and do 6 Alpine coasters in a day, which was obviously far too much and silly to even try and attempt. Which is why today I'm going to try and do 7. I think I will hopefully, definitely, maybe, get 6 done. The 7th is a possibility though. It's not too bad if I miss it. It's open till 7 o'clock this evening, and my hotel is quite close to it, so if I miss it, then as long as the weather's okay, then I can hopefully get it tomorrow morning instead. But I think it would be quite an accomplishment to do 7 Alpine coasters in one day. We'll see if that works out though. It's either 4 or 5 that are in Austria that I'm planning on doing, and 1 or 2 in Germany. They are quite close together though. There's at least a cluster of about 3 of them that don't look too far away, so hopefully it won't take too long to do them. And if I can get there early enough, there won't be much of a queue. So let's get on our way and go and try and do 7 Alpine coasters in one day. So we're just about nearing the first Alpine coaster, and I'm going to say the landscape's a bit different to other ones. So far this seems, okay, there are some mountains around here, but generally quite a bit flatter than other places where I've done the Alpine coasters. We will see what this one's like though. There is a big mountain to my right there, so that's something. But yeah, it feels like we're still down in the valley rather than going up to somewhere where there's a coaster. We're still 4 minutes away though, so I guess we will see what this coaster's like. That meant to be the Matterhorn, or maybe the Disney ride, Matterhorn bobsleds. I will say that now we're heading through this sort of more villagey bit, there are some proper mountains in the background now. So first up today we have Lucky Flitzer, which seems to be next to some kind of inflatable park or kids play area. This one doesn't look massive, but looks decent fun, and it's pretty early in the morning, so that means most people haven't arrived yet, so no queue, and it looks like I should get a clean run at it, so let's see what we're doing. This ride seems to be mostly all about the helixes, because there's a whole bunch of them. Supposedly there's a couple of jumps in there as well, so we'll see what they're like. Here we go. That was actually pretty good, better than I expected. There's quite a lot of strong lateral forces and no automatic braking, so yeah, that was good fun. I did have to stop slightly at one point because I forgot to put my hat on backwards and it felt like it was about to take off. But yeah, that was surprisingly good. I didn't think that much before going on it, but yeah, I rather like that one. Right. 1 down, 6 to go. That was a nice one to start off with though, a good way to start the morning. Refreshingly, didn't seem to be any automatic braking, you got up to a good speed, had some very strong laterals and some nice little jumps. Great way to start. Onwards to the next one. So next up is this Alpine coaster, which I think is called something like Rittisberg-Coaster. It looks interesting enough. We're in more jagged mountain scenery now as well, which is very nice. There's some very spectacular looking hills behind me. Don't know if you can see them at the moment, but particularly over that way. Either way, this is looking interesting. There is some traffic up ahead of me, unfortunately. It's always quite hard to judge how fast someone will go. I tried to delay getting on a little bit, but it doesn't seem to have made much of a difference as there's still people pretty close in front of me. Some kids are like completely fearless and go down head first just about though. Either way, hopefully we'll get a good bit of speed up, we'll have some fun, and as I was saying, mountains over that direction. Pretty stunning. Damn, look at that scenery. Damn. Anyway, Rittisberg-Coaster, let's go! In this. Pretty strict. Woohoo! That was quite the ride. Some really powerful laterals if you don't brake for them. I think I just about pulled a muscle trying to brace to get around some of those corners. Pretty impressive. There was a couple of nice little jumps going on as well. I think the most impressive thing about this coaster is just the scenery in front of you as you go down. It's absolutely stunning. But yeah, that was quite an intense one. Really good fun. Not the longest, bit on the short side, but quite powerful. So that's Alpine coaster number 2 done. How many more can we get today? Can we make 7? It's possible, we're making good time. Fingers crossed anyway. The next one's again about an hour, 45 minutes away. Let's head there. One thing I was wondering is, this place, Rittisberg, there is a brand of chocolate which may or not be Alpine related called Ritter Sport. Maybe it's related to this in some way? Who knows? So coaster number 2 is done. We're on to the next one called Woody Bob, which I don't think is a wooden coaster, or a wooden Alpine coaster, but should be fun nonetheless. Now one thing, my car is currently saying it's 20 degrees Celsius, which is quite pleasant.
Left on the
There was a thermometer thing at the coaster just there, which said it was 24 degrees, which is getting quite warm. But supposedly, according to the weather forecast, it's going to hit 36 degrees later today, which is bloody hot. As a Scotsman, I kind of melt in that sort of heat, so yeah, it'll I'll be interested to see how that pans out. I'm wearing the strongest sun cream I can get, so see how well it holds up to the Alpine sun. But for now, onwards to Woody Bob. So this next coaster, Woody Bob, is a little bit interesting because I believe it's not actually made by Weigand, and it's made by a different manufacturer. So this is what it's like inside Woody Bob. So this is made by Mountain Innovations, a company, and they've only made 2 Alpine coasters ever, this being one of them. It's interesting. It's quite weird. Yeah, the way the cable was like completely up in the air there was something a little bit different. Yeah, so this is not Weigand, this is Mountain Innovations. The brakes look generally a bit stiff actually, but we shall see what this is like to ride. I think we're getting near the end. Are we? No, we're not. Interestingly, there's nothing to really brace your feet on for going around corners unless you go like that, I guess. It feels less exposed than the Weigand ones. And again, we've got this unusual situation with the... I don't know if you can see it. The wire, which just sticks up in the air. Oh well. We're at the top. Here we go. So that was certainly interesting. It feels like you've got a lot less support over your body. It's safer in a way because you're completely enclosed here, but when you go around the corners you're kind of flung like that because there's no way to like properly... There's no way to sort of really brace yourself with your legs. The other ones you've got like foot things you can sort of lean into. That was interesting. So that was quite interesting. Woody Bob, a different manufacturer from any other Alpine coasters that I've done. In terms of differences, there's quite a few. The brakes are very stiff, so you have to put quite a lot of force to push them down, and you've not really got anywhere proper to rest your feet and brace yourself for going around the corners, so you end up really getting flung around them. The actual layout was quite fun as well. The corners, I said, are fun because you just get completely flung around them. There didn't seem to be that much in the way of sort of dips or jumps, but yeah, it was interesting. The lift cable was quite weird as well, and there was a tyre propelled bit at the start, so a lot of different things to the typical Weigand ones. So Woody Bob was an interesting ride. Next we're going to, I think it's called Karkogel, or something along those lines. Sommerrodelbahn Karkogel. It's only about 20 minutes away, and that'll be our 4th coaster if we can get to it, which is not bad going considering the time is only 20 to 12. So yeah, it's not even lunchtime yet. We've done 3 coasters. Can we get up to 7 today? It's a possibility. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And let's head on to Karkogel. You gotta love the scenery here. It is just epic. Next up is Karkogel Bahn, or something like that. Karkogel Sommerrodelbahn. It's a single rail Alpine coaster this time, and it's moderately busy. They seem to be stacking people up quite near the start, so I think the chances of a clean run are fairly small again this time. But fingers crossed we can get some speed on this one. As I said, with these single rail ones, I do sometimes, well, I find I have to use the brake because it just feels unsteady with a higher centre of gravity. Anyway, we will maybe take some more photos up here, shoot a bit more video, and then do the ride. So I've decided to be a bit tactical here. In front of me was about 1,000 small children who looked like they'd be going at snail's pace going down. So I decided to take a brief pit stop, a small beer. Whilst waiting to ride, I did actually get to check out what the underside of some of these Alpine coasters look like. I found it quite interesting. There is the general braking system, but then there's also this speed limiter braking system that I think kicks in if you reach a certain speed and stops you going any faster. It's quite an ingenious design, I think. So I've tried to game the system as best I can, but you can never guarantee how fast or slow people are going to go in front of you. We will see, and hopefully we'll have a good trip. Some handy instructions. Let's go say hello to the cows. Hello, cows. I mean, we may as well, seeing as there's so much traffic up ahead. Best laid plans of mice and men get scuppered by slow people. Don't say hello to more cows. Maybe call this a roller coaster. Hello. Aren't you nice? Okay, we'll get some speed now. I think we might hit speed limit now. Or, well, they're kind of the speed limiter as well, aren't they? For fuck's sake. So what I'm going to do here is hide in the trees for a little bit and see how long I've got until someone comes behind me. Right, let's go. I don't want to spoil their run. Hold on the brake. I'm on the brakes. So yeah, I knew going into it, getting a clear run wouldn't be easy, and it wasn't. Still, decent view on the way down, some decent bits of speed, the tunnels were fun, but what can you do when there's slow people? Ram them off the road? That'd be mean. It is always a problem, the longer the coaster, the more likely you're going to find traffic, and yeah, traffic was a bummer in this one. Oh well. Another coaster down, that's 4. I might grab a quick bite to eat for lunch and then head on to number 5, which I think will be the last one in Austria before heading into Germany. So, slightly frustrating ride on that Alpine coaster. It is always the risk, and as I said, the longer the coaster is, the more likely to run into traffic. Perhaps someone should invent a Alpine coaster with spikes at the front, so just to give a bit of impetus for people to go a bit faster and not get caught up by anyone behind them. I was able to get up a little bit of speed though at times, so that was nice, in between the heavy braking. So I think I'm going to grab a quick bite to eat and then head on to the 5th coaster of the day, which I think is just on the border with Germany, because we're still in Austria, and yeah, this will be leaving Austria shortly. Oh well.
Take the next left on the mark, then your destination will be on the right.
Let's get some lunch first. So we've made it to the 5th coaster of the day. This is another single rail coaster, and it looks like traffic going down isn't quite as bad as the last one, so fingers crossed we'll get a good run at it. This one also looks quite long. It's going up via chairlift, which seems like quite a long chairlift. So that should mean a very good long ride downwards. This will be the last coaster in Austria, I believe, as after this we're driving into Germany, and there's a couple more Alpine coasters there to do as well, and then possibly back to normal theme parks. The view up here really is incredible. It's almost like you're flying. It's just you're looking up over the edge of this hill and you can see for miles. It's insane how high up this is almost, and we're going all the way down on a roller coaster. Here we go. So they actually seem to have some queue management here where they were holding up the queue if there were slow people ahead. So hopefully we should get a good run now. Just a little bit of braking. As I said, I find these ones... Hello! Oh, that's quite a tight turn. I kind of felt on that downhill bit that you could feel the speed limiter kicking in. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get a bit more speed. Attention, something. Oh, check out that view though. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, we're definitely at the speed limiter on this. We don't seem to be accelerating. Can we take it full speed? Yes, we can. Oh, it feels like there's trims on this. Come on. Schnell. Great. Almost like going through soup or sludge. It's not like that free with the speed. It's almost like, yeah, you're stuck in glue going down here. Seats are not the comfiest either. Oh dear. And it was all going so well. Yeah, so even though this seems quite heavily braked, it's still not slow enough for some people. You can feel it just then when it kicks in and you're just not be able to go any faster. Ah! Having said that, going faster around that corner might have been a mistake. It seems a bit low to me for a tall person. So yeah, this one seems to be characterised by very long straights and then some really gnarly turns. Let's have a little bit of break. I feel excessively tall in this at the moment. That'll be more fun as we go through the woods. There's a little bit of speed. Right, my butt. Yeah, you can really get the limiter there. 3, 2, 1, click! That sounds slow. So that was the Bad Durenberg coaster, which may go by another name as well. But it was pretty good fun. The layout was kind of interesting, as it seemed to be characterised mostly by a lot of fairly long straights where you're hitting the top speed of the car. But it doesn't seem like the top speed of the car is all that fast, so these long straights you're just kind of like, almost feels like you're travelling through glue and you're just not going that fast. It's still a fun coaster, and towards the end when you're going down through the trees, diving down bits, that's quite a lot of fun. And they at least tried to put some kind of traffic management at the top where they gave a good bit of space between the very slow people. So I got a decent run until running into traffic people just at the very end. Anyway, that will be the last Austrian coaster. Now off to Germany. So we have just crossed over into Germany, which means something special. Autobahn! If you didn't know, the Autobahn in Germany does not have a speed limit in certain sections. Which means it can be sensible. Remove your hat so it doesn't go flying off. What this ends up meaning though, is that you end up driving at a speed that gets the balance right. So you can either go fast and get there faster, but burn more petrol, or take a more chilled route and not use so much petrol. What I end up finding though is, even though it is de-restricted, you do still end up running into traffic every now and again. As I said, when driving on the Autobahn, things become a measure of balance. Because it's not just the fuel economy like I said, but it's also things like road noise and wind noise and general comfort. So how fast you end up going is quite variable. For me, I usually find the speed sort of averages out where I find it sort of a balance between noise and everything at about sort of 80, 90. But you can go faster. The German Alps may be a little less impressive than the Swiss ones, but what can you expect? The Alps are really only getting started when they're in Germany. Okay, so the Alps are starting to look a little bit more impressive than initially, even if they are the German ones. We're just right here at the next Alpine coaster, which I can see to my right, so let's get parked up.
Next right on Rittisberg-Coaster, then you will arrive at your destination.
And tick off number 6. So, slight disaster here. My action camera has been dropped and the lens is smashed. It does come off though, so I think that still works. Fingers crossed. And I can get a new lens cap for this. It still seems to work. And the picture looks okay though, so if there's any change in picture quality, that's why. It does feel a little bit kind of weird in my hand though, almost like it's naked, but let's see how it goes. So the next coaster is Chiemgau coaster? Chiemgau? Chiemgau? Let me know in the comments how you'd pronounce this one. So I spoke to the guy at the bottom and apparently it's Chiemgau. Not Chiemgau, Chiemgau, whatever. So this is the Chiemgau coaster, which doesn't sound all that German, but hey, it is German. Layout looks quite interesting, lots of helixes. I don't know how long it is though, because it goes up into the woods and then disappears. As you can see, so I'll see you at the top and we'll get riding. Looks like a nice little run bit through the forest. I think this is the top though. Yeah, there you go. to be any trims in this one. Some little jumps. Yeah. Not shorter than the others, but still, good fun. Good fun. So that's coaster number 5 done. I've just stopped for a brief pit stop for an ice lolly because it is bloody hot. 30 degrees according to my car. I'm not sure if I've escaped the 36 degree heat wave area, but it certainly feels very hot. And I think we should be on track to make the 7th coaster today. 7 Alpine coasters in one day. I think is kind of ridiculous, but also kind of impressive. One thing I haven't talked about yet on this trip is my weapon of choice for doing it, which is my car. It's my Mazda MX-5 ND2, which I absolutely love. It's the second MX-5 I've had, as unfortunately my previous one someone drove into with enough speed to write it off. So I ended up getting this one a couple of years ago, and I absolutely love it. For a trip like this, I think it's pretty much the perfect car. Going on the twisty Alpine roads, it's just perfect. The Mazda engineers have this concept of Jinba Itai, which means horse and rider in perfect synchronization, and that's kind of the feeling you get while driving this. You just sort of get the feeling from the car, like the seat is connected so low down to the tarmac that you just feel everything the car is doing. You know what the front wheels are doing, you know what the back wheels are doing, you've got a good feeling of where grip is, and it's just the perfect driver's car. The gearbox is fantastic, just nice short shifts, you always know which gear you're going to get. And it's super light, so the economy isn't actually that bad in terms of the mileage that you get with petrol, because I'm not lugging around 3 extra seats with no one in, just 1 extra seat with no one in. It's not the fastest car in the world by any means. Most hot hatches will quite easily beat it, but most hot hatches don't have a roof you can take down, and that's been part of the absolute joy of this trip, is just driving around these beautiful mountain roads with the wind in your hair and the scenery all around you without any of it obstructed. It's just magical almost. I very much feel like I've gone round the Alps now, because to the left is the Alps and to the right isn't anymore. Feels like I've done sort of a loop around them. And it's kind of weird that they just suddenly all sort of start up all of a sudden.
In 800 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
So Oedberg is the final destination for today. Well, penultimate when you consider my hotel as the final destination. But this will hopefully be coaster number 7. Fingers crossed it's open. So I have made it to the final Alpine coaster of the day, number 7, which I think could be a record, at least for me anyway, a personal best for most Alpine coasters in one day. There's been quite a bit of distance travelled. I've been lucky that all the coasters have been open and the queues for them haven't been too bad. But yeah, 7 Alpine coasters one day, let's enjoy this one. It doesn't look hugely long, but looks like it'll be fun enough. It's Rodelbahn, I think is the name. And it's a single rail again, so let's go. So unlike many of the coasters today, this one goes up with a pomato. Other ones be going up on the chairlift or gondola or various other methods. Okay. So there we have it, 7 Alpine coasters in one day. Quite the achievement. I'm pretty happy. So there we have it, 7 different Alpine coasters across 2 different countries in one day. I think that's something to be proud of, I don't know. I know there are records for doing the most coasters in the day. Some people in America ended up renting a helicopter and flying from park to park. I think they did it for charity, which is alright. But I don't think there's an actual world record for the most Alpine coasters done in a day. I'd like to know if anyone's ever done more than 7, so drop a comment if you have, and congratulations. So I think 7 is going to be pretty hard to beat at any time.
Turn right on the Schnierzeerstraße.
Alpine coasters by their nature are usually reasonably far apart. Having said that, I know there's a whole bunch in Dollywood and round about there, so maybe I should add up all the ones I did there at some point and see how many. But for now I think 7 across 2 different countries is not bad going by any means, so I'm pretty happy with that. Tomorrow there may be even more Alpine coasters as well, and possibly a real theme park for a change, so I'll see you there.